What up, Dokkaners? We are now looking at the new campaign details for the Super Dragon Ball Heroes crossover special. So let's take a look at all of this stuff here. A new Dokkan event and a new special event will be available. 8 characters related to the Super Dragon Ball Heroes can be Extreme Z awakened through the new Extreme Z battle. That does not, of course, mention the 5 free-to-plays that are also going to be awakening through the Extreme Z area. Other events including Ultimate Red Zone Super Dragon Ball Heroes Edition, an event where you'll face formidable foes from Super Dragon Ball Heroes, will also be made available. Come join the events from the crossover special and enjoy the world of Super Dragon Ball Heroes. So the login bonus is going to be going from the 21st until the 5th of December. So that is how long we will be having hero stuff. Will we see a part 2 in here? A lot of people are kind of coping and hoping. So coping and hoping. The Dragon Ball Heroes banner is going to be dropping later on tonight. Now, I originally made a video, should you or should you not summon, but my stupid internet couldn't let me upload the video the whole day, so I'm gonna have to basically integrate that into this one. So it's gonna be basically an abridged version, which is probably for the best. By now, you've probably been discussing this with people, you've probably seen videos on it, so I'm just gonna give my take on whether or not you should or should not summon for Dragon Ball Heroes at the end of this. New Dokkan event that's gonna be dropping tonight as well. It's gonna be dropping at 10 o'clock Pacific, so 6 hours after reset. I am recording this video, the second reset has hit, so whenever you're watching this, make sure you remember 6 hours after reset is when the banner will be dropping. It is not going to be at the usual time, which is 10:30 Pacific, or whatever time it is for you. It's going to be half an hour before that. Then we've got new Dragonstone sales, and we've got the new special crossover Dragonstone. Now, this is basically sort of like the premium purple stone that you get for other celebrations, where when you pay for certain stones, you can get that extra stone with it, and with that special stone you can redeem it for certain characters. So if there's maybe like 1 or 2 particular characters you are looking for, you don't have to necessarily summon, you could just redeem these stones and get them instead. We'll hopefully be able to see what that is either now or later. Either way, I'll give my thoughts on that. So we've got the, oh yeah, so here we go. This is the Baba Shop. I think it's only going to be available tonight where we get to see the selection, but it's basically from, I think, last year or the year before, and then everything prior to that, because the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito Dokkan, I was going to say Dokkan Fest. The Super Saiyan 4 Vegito banner was 2 years ago. Last year was God Trunks. The year before was Super Saiyan 4. And then FU was for the World Mission, which was in 2019. New special event, Universal Conflict Saga. So a lot of people, myself included, were very much surprised to see Grand Priest Goku in there. I imagine he's simply going to be a story asset, so don't think anything more than that. The only unit that we're going to be able to obtain is going to be the Int Lags character. And shocking surprise here, the Hearts unit, in terms of Dokkan Awakening, he doesn't use medals from the Universal Conflict event. He's actually going to be using both of the medals that are going to be available from the Dokkan event for the Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breakers, which canonically, or I mean, it's not really canon, but you know, in terms of the promotional anime, doesn't make a lot of sense because Hearts is from the previous arc where there wasn't any Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breakers. So it's kind of weird that he's using those medals to awaken and not medals from this event. But I suppose, like I mentioned in that video, since this is a unit with a Dokkan Fest level like active skill and all that, it wouldn't make sense for him to have a measly free-to-play medal to awaken, I guess. I don't know. Then we've got the Extreme Z battle for the summonable Dragon Ball Heroes characters. So we've got Xeno, Super Saiyan 3, Goku Vegeta, Cumber, FU. We've got Supreme Kai of Time, Great Saiyaman 3, Golden Cooler, and Celis. I think I listed everybody. I might be missing some, but I've talked about this on several videos. If you guys want the full breakdown on what these units are capable of, go check out my last couple of videos. I have a full video dedicated to the new units that are summonable, and then all of the EZAs, as well as the Janemba and Cooler on the other videos. So go check those out. I will link those in the description. We're also going to be having a special crossover summon just for the EZA characters. Now, for me, in my opinion, if you're going to be summoning for Dragon Ball Heroes, you should be summoning for the main Dragon Ball Heroes banner and not for the Extreme Z banner, because both banners are going to give you a guaranteed featured SSR. And the only difference is that they are making the EZA characters the headliners, and then everyone that is not featured in the upcoming Super Dragon Ball Heroes banner will also be unfeatured in that banner as well, basically. So I think that this is kind of a trick. I'm not going to say scam, because you are going to be summoning for like the Xeno or like the main EZA characters, but I don't think it's worth spending 50 stones to try to get these as the headliners. I would rather summon for these and then get those units as a fallback in the general pool. Worst case scenario, if you don't get the units that are also getting those EZAs, not a big deal, because one of the major complaints with Dragon Ball Heroes characters is that they don't really function well outside of their core categories, which is something we're going to talk about in a bit. But that can also be the same reason that you justify not pursuing certain characters, because out of all of these EZAs, the one that I am most recommending people have would be the Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because he's quite frankly the best one. But other units do have their perks here and there, but it's not like you have to pursue it, especially given the climate of the global Dokkan space right now with all the other banners that are coming up, which we'll talk about in a bit. The Extreme Z area for the free-to-play Dragon Ball Heroes characters is also coming up. So we've got all 5 of these ones. They will all be getting some, I guess, mediocre EZAs. I'm not too excited about anyone in particular. I really had high hopes for Cumber, but whatever, it's free-to-play. More stuff, so might as well get it done. New Red Zone will be dropping tonight. I might do this on the Twitch stream afterwards. Normally when I summon on YouTube, I do the post-game show on Twitch where I'm cleaning up my box after I do all my summons. So I might do this over there, or I might just do another video for it. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Then we've got, the reopen. Okay, good. So the reopening of the old Extreme Z battle is also here. So last generation's Dragon Ball Heroes, the first class of Dragon Ball Heroes characters that received EZAs, that battle is coming back. So for those of you who might be summoning, who potentially might pull some of these characters and never got to indulge on those EZAs, you will be able to with this battle, which is good. This is very good because some of the characters from this set of EZAs are actually pretty great. So with that, and then we've got the God Trunks, we've got Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and we've got, oh, right, for thank you, I guess, the Trunks, Gotenks is there. Oh, no, you know what? Gotenks is there because the Gotenks Super Saiyan 3 adult Gotenks from this Heroes Extreme Z battle needs that medal. That's what it is. Okay. So all these medals are basically needed for awakening various characters involved in Dragon Ball Heroes. And then we've got the return of all of these story events. Get all of these done. All of these events have characters that either have EZAs or will eventually get them, so it is worth doing. Plus, with all of the characters that are going to be dropping during this hero celebration, whether or not you're summoning, there are a ton of Kais that are going to be at stake here because, you know, if you don't want to be farming out the free-to-plays, you're going to have to burn Kais on these characters, or maybe if you do summon, then you're going to have to farm Kais for those characters, or use the Kais on them, which means you'll have to farm the super attack normally for the free-to-plays. I would urge you guys to Dokkan as responsibly as you possibly can. Get all of the free-to-play units fully taken care of, including their SA5 dupes for their EZAs. That way you can minimize the amount of collateral damage that will befall your your precious Elder Kais. Because if we were to do the math, I'm just eyeballing it. I don't actually want to take the time, but I'm pretty sure it's like well over 70 or 80 Kais that you're going to be using for all of these different characters. So yeah, that's not looking good, especially if you're not somebody who has a lot of Kais in reserve. Let's go back here. So with the story events, that's about it. So that's the rest of the campaign. This is basically happening in parallel with the Thank You Celebration Part 2. So all of that combined with the Extreme Super Battle Road. And what else is there in Part 2 of this one? There's nothing else, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that and Extreme Super Battle Road, and then of course the rewards that will be coming in for the World Tournament in a couple of days. That is pretty much your Part 2 for Thank You Celebration 2022. Looking at the logins, how many stones are we getting overall? They normally just give you the number, but yeah, 14 Dragon Stones. So that's how many you're getting there. And no missions? Oh, no missions. Okay. So yeah, there you have it. Now let's talk about, are you going to summon or are you not? I'm just going to be really quick about this because there's really not much to it. It's a simple black and white, in my opinion. If you like Dragon Ball Heroes, summon. If you don't like Dragon Ball Heroes, or if you're on a budget, or if you have even the slightest bit of doubt, don't summon. Don't let the guaranteed featured SSR mechanic lure you in and summon for the sake of summoning. While it is a very satisfying feeling to be able to summon and actually get something good out of each summon, as well as a very concentrated core of unfeatured characters that will also bolster your Dragon Ball Heroes team, just keep in mind what you're trying to accomplish here. Are you trying to summon to enjoy Dragon Ball Heroes? Are you trying to summon to collect these characters? Or are you trying to beat certain events that you're otherwise having trouble with? If it is the latter, the Dragon Ball Heroes characters aren't the overall fix to some of the events that you're struggling with. Other characters will be more suitable for that. Dragon Ball Heroes is like an extra canonical, extracurricular activity that you don't otherwise need, and it doesn't impact the core experience of Dokkan. It is only primarily meant for those of you who actually like Dragon Ball Heroes. That is why one of the common complaints with these characters is that they don't work well outside of Dragon Ball Heroes, which is a common concern, and it makes sense, right? Like, you're ingratiating these characters into your collection of Dokkan characters, but since these guys kind of fit in their own little pocket universe, why would they need to function well with your other characters? This is meant to be a thing where if you summon, you gain something from it, but if you don't summon, you're not missing out. other than the simple fanfare of having a shiny new Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker, or having a Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, a character that you would never see otherwise. So just like the anime is non-canon, just like the entire franchise of Dragon Ball Heroes is non-canon and doesn't quite exist in like the mainstream Dragon Ball, same thing applies to these Dokkan characters. So try to visualize it that way if you guys are struggling on deciding. Of course, if you like these characters like I do, you will have a great time summoning for these characters because you will generally get the good stuff that you want, and it is never too late to catch up. For example, what I mean by that is I started playing Dokkan around 2019. So I jumped in on the third iteration of this banner, the World Mission banner. I had yet to experience the first 2 years, but after my first experience summoning for Dragon Ball Heroes through my various collabs back in the day, I think it was with Steven and Mass Ningen, we did a bunch of summons. I got all of the characters that I had otherwise missed on the first 2 years. So I didn't really miss out on anything except for the initial, hype of having them. So if you guys are brand new to this game and you don't feel you have enough funds to accommodate this in your schedule, that's totally fine. If you want to skip this, you can skip this. You could come back next year and face the same exact set of circumstances. And if you are able to summon then, you would basically have an even bigger pool to choose from in the unfeatured, and you would have a new, fresh batch of new SSRs that you could summon for. So the characters that are going to be available this year, they will be in this slot next year for you to summon on. So even if you wait 3-4 years from now, on that latest banner, you can catch up in maybe like 5 or 6 summons. You'll get so many different variety of characters from Dragon Ball Heroes. You could assemble several teams and be able to really draw out their inner potential. So that is my little TED talk on whether or not you should summon. I don't think if you have even the slightest bit of doubt, you should summon, because let's not forget, we've got the New Year Step Up, which is the most valuable banner for new players ever in Dokkan the entire year. 600 stones for a ton of value. We have other characters coming up like Trunks and Vegeta. We have the Christmas banner where the 7-year LRs will be purchased with red coins. And then of course the Gohan Beast. Where the heck is this guy going to show up? Is it going to be a simultaneous celebration for the new year? Is it going to be 8-year anniversary? Whatever the case may be, this Gohan Beast will transcend every other unit you've ever seen in Dokkan. And that is going to be insane. So you don't want to be not having enough stones for that. Unfortunately, the reality is for global players, you just don't have the means to summon on every single banner unless you put money into the game, or you are very strict on how many multis you do. But then if you do that, are you really going to get everything you want on each banner? Also, these units like Trunks and Vegeta or the 7-year LRs, these types of characters can function very well with just one copy. Whereas the Dragon Ball Heroes characters, one could argue you need a little bit more in them, maybe an additional here or there, maybe some skill orbs here or there. Their kits aren't quite so complete where you can actually say, I can reliably say, I'm going to beat this event all the time with this one copy of the Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Goku or whatever, So little food for thought there. Don't get baited by this. If you truly can't afford it, don't summon for the sake of summoning. You're going to have to deal with the fact that other people have them. You're going to have to deal with the fact that, people are going to be hyping them up and talking about them, but eventually other characters will come up that you will be very thankful for that you saved up for. But if you're a hardcore character like me, if you're a hardcore fan of Dragon Ball Heroes, you enjoy the crazy what ifs, you enjoy the chaos with these characters, have fun with it. Do some summons. You will get something good on every single summon basically with this mechanic, and you can just throw in a couple of multis, maybe 3 or 4. That's about it. But there you have it, folks. That is my overall thoughts and opinions, and of course the information on the upcoming celebration. I will be going live later on tonight summoning for this banner. I will be doing a lot of summons. I'll probably get most of my summons done here. There may or may not be some following videos or collabs, maybe. I'm not entirely sure what's going to be happening, but I will be summoning tonight, so make sure you guys are subscribed. Notification bells are turned to all so that you don't miss any of the action. And if you guys have your own thoughts and opinions on what I had to say about whether you should summon or not, please share them, because you will be helping some other toon in the comments section who is struggling to make that decision. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, are you excited for this campaign overall? Which EZA has you the most hyped? Which summonable character has you the most hyped? Are you going to be dabbling in some summons, or are you going to be skipping? And if so, which banner are you saving up for? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know we're going to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again. Stay tuned. I'll see you tonight. And always remember to Dokkan responsibly.